Jamie Dakota, the final farewell in 50 Shades of Grey, the end of a cinematic love story. Multiple entertainment outlets are reporting that Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson will appear together to reveal the final details about 50 Shades 4, the film that is supposed to conclude the series. Rumor has it that this will be their last time together on screen. The invitation is minimalist in tone. Come hear the untold story behind the scenes, and from the stars themselves. The pair have never appeared together at a press conference since the third film, so the signal has fans on edge. Dakota Johnson, long known for her professionalism and low-key demeanor, reportedly agreed to the press conference on one condition: she wanted to use the moment to thank fans, and possibly say goodbye to the 50 Shades theme. Meanwhile, Jamie Dornan, who has said that playing Christian Grey is one of the most difficult and stressful roles of his career, is said to have discussed with the producers whether to hang up the role. The news spread on social media. Hashtags #50finale, #JamieDakota4 appeared on fandom sites. Many speculated that the press conference would feature a final trailer, behind-the-scenes video, a farewell announcement, and possibly a mini-memoir. But inside the press conference room, the atmosphere was tense and full of suspense. Many expected a grand finale, a surprise announcement, or even a twist that would shock the world. Press conference night, the final step. The stage was elegantly decorated, warm lights, black curtains on both sides, the 50 Shades 4, the final chapter, logo in the background. Soft background music plays as the audience quietly settles into their seats. Reporters, bloggers, lucky fans who have been invited, a few questioners, are ready, cameras, microphones, flashbulbs. The MC steps up and introduces, "We are here tonight to welcome Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson, two people who have accompanied the world of 50 Shades of Grey, to hear their thoughts on the final 4 installments, and an important piece of information: this will be the last time they act together in this saga." As the applause dies down, the two appear side by side, Dakota in a light grey dress, her hair down to her shoulders, Jamie in a classic black suit, poised and slightly bowing to the audience. The spotlight falls softly on him, each face showing a mixture of exhaustion and pride. The MC invites them to sit, then begins the conversation. MC: Dakota, Jamie, congratulations on your journey. First of all, can you tell us why you call Part 4 the finale? Dakota took a breath, looked at Jamie, and answered. Dakota: before we started filming this part, I felt something. If we continued with this character forever, there would come a time when it would no longer be itself. I love the character of Anastasia. I cherish the love story that she brings to so many people. But there are times when it's best to say goodbye. With Part 4, we wanted to end it on a beautiful note, not drag it out and blur the original feeling. She paused for a moment, then smiled. And this part, we think, will be the last time Dakota and I stand together as Anastasia and Christian. It's a respectful farewell to the character and to each other in this role. Jamie nodded slightly, his voice warm. Jamie: I agree with Dakota. When we started filming the first part, none of us thought that there would be so many years, so many seasons, so much pressure, so many expectations. The role of Christian is a challenging role, not only because of the psychological depth, but also because of the public image. What is right, what is too much, is all scrutinized. When we prepared the 4th part, I asked myself how to end it properly, to close the story that the audience loves. And will continuing really bring good things, or just prolong a name that will blur the original memory? In the end, we chose to stop at the right time. The MC turned to the reporter. First question, please. An Italian female reporter spoke up. Dakota, is it at this time that you want to move away from the image of Anastasia to develop other roles? Is there any regret? Dakota tilted her head, her eyes looking thoughtful. Dakota, I wouldn't say, leaving, completely. I'm still proud of Anastasia. But I also want to challenge myself with other roles, more different, more personal. Would it be a pity if we continued for a 5th or 6th season without keeping the emotions honest? Then everything would be disjointed. I believe this ending will be beautiful, much better than continuing to drag on. Another reporter, Jamie, the love story between Christian and Anna in season 4, is there anything groundbreaking that will make the audience close this relationship? Jamie smiled slightly, like someone keeping a secret. Jamie, there are details that, when you watch, you will understand why we chose to end here. There is a moment in this season, I don't want to reveal everything, when Christian stands in front of Anna, no more power play force, no longer omnipotent, but just the truth between the two. Warning, when looking into Anna's eyes, Christian must seem like H is bearing the burden. And Anna too. Shush is no longer the one who endures, but the one who acts together. That's the image we want to leave. Two equal people, no power boundaries, no past memories. Dakota interjected, there's a final scene, very close to the end of the film, where Anna and Christian are on the balcony looking at the sky, no dialogue. They don't need words anymore, just breathing and looking. I think if that scene is done well, it will last a long time in the audience. The MC continued, are you not going to continue filming? Will season 4 be the finale? Jamie replied, that's right. We, the whole production team, we discussed the technique. There may be a spin-off, there may be another project in the 50 Shades universe, but the story between Anna and Christian, as I started, will stop here. Dakota said softly, yes. This is the last time we stand together under the name Anastasia Christian. Later, when we look back, it will be a beautiful memory, no regrets, not too long. The user zoomed in on the compressor, the flash zoomed in. The MC said thank you. The press conference ended with applause, but many people's eyes still lingered, as if they didn't want to leave. Behind the scenes and sharing secretly, after the event lights went out, the sound of footsteps and small chatter still echoed behind the stage. Between the officials, producers, studio representatives and the two actors, there was a moment of silence for them to speak privately, not in front of the public. Dakota walked out to the hallway, where there was no mic, only dim lights. She looked at the ceiling, sighed softly. Jamie approached, put his hand on her shoulder. Jamie, that scene, the balcony scene, you did very well. Your eyes, you didn't need any dialogue to convey the emotion. Dakota turned and smiled. Thank you. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to convey the feeling of transformation. But then I thought, just be me, just be Anna, the end, to make it complete. Jamie nodded. I was afraid too. Afraid that the audience wouldn't accept the ending. But if it dragged on, there would be nothing worthwhile left. They walked towards the waiting room door, where there was soft lights and a few sofas. Dakota sat. Jamie stood beside him, looking out the small window. Both were silent, as if they had been through so many seasons, so many lights and lenses, and now only the farewell remained. Neither of them said much, but in their eyes were so many memories, hot scenes, tearing scenes, tender scenes, conflict scenes, all intertwined, creating a love story loved around the world. An assistant came over and whispered, "Excuse me, the media wants to do a quick interview in the hallway." Dakota looked up at Jamie, as if asking, "Are you doing it?" Jamie looked away, then nodded slightly. They stood up, adjusted their dresses, and headed for the door. The cameras in the hallway were waiting. The two walked together, walking slowly, their faces serious and calm. Reporters surrounded them. Reporter: congratulations on the press conference. Dakota: Jamie, quick question. Were you emotional about saying goodbye to your character? Dakota looks straight into the camera. It was emotional, but I thank this character for letting me know more about myself. Jamie continues: I know I'll miss Christian, but I hope people remember him not for the big things, but for the simple moments, for the look. The camera pans slowly, their eyes, the lights, the circle of people walking through the crowd, like a final act. They both go in different directions, in a silent but meaningful way. Fans follow, cameras, microphones, but they have gone their separate ways, respecting the ending they have chosen. Final scene, behind-the-scenes fiction. Before filming began for the fourth film, director Emma Alvarez invited Jamie and Dakota into a small recording studio. In the dark room, there was only a large screen and a few chairs. Emma said, "Emma, this part will be the closing part. I want the last scene, the balcony scene, to be the emotional climax, no dialogue, just eyes." Jamie frowned. No dialogue? Can the audience feel the thickness between Christian and Anna just by the eyes? Emma smiled. Exactly. That's why I want the actors to be single-minded, without calculation. Show the deepest things, the transformation, the letting go, the acceptance. Dakota nodded. I understand. I will act with my eyes, with my breath. The balcony scene took place late at night, with a light breeze, moonlight on the railing. Anna climbed up, Christian stood behind. The camera panned from wide angle to close-up of their eyes. No background music, just the sound of the wind, the rustling of leaves, their breathing. Gradually, they moved closer, the distance decreasing. Christian raised his hand, as if to touch but stopped. Anna stepped lightly, leaning against the railing. They looked at each other, for a long time, in silence. Christian's gaze softened, not assertively imposing, but a little letting go. Anna didn't look away, but looked back, as if finding a part of herself in his gaze. The final scene, they stood close together, shoulder to shoulder, looking out at the night city, without dialogue. The camera slowly pulled back, leaving the image of two people in the vast space, the city lights in the distance, the dark sky highlighted by faint stars. During that scene, Jamie and Dakota exchanged their hearts. They didn't count the steps, didn't count the eyes, just lived in the characters. When the director said, "Cut," they stood still, the lights still on, the camera still running for a few seconds. Then everything broke out, the applause of the crew, the flashes, the smiles and a few tears, not only from the actors but from the filmmakers who had pursued this project for many years. After the final scene, Dakota hugged Jamie. No greetings, no cheers, just a long, warm hug, like a timely farewell. Fan reactions and echoes. As the press conference spread across Western newspapers, a wave of outrage, regret, and support flooded the internet. How dare they end it? Someone lamented. Someone congratulated. The ending is better than dragging it out to a pointless end. Some reposted previous scenes, lines, and loving moments, expressing gratitude to Jamie Dakota. On film forums, fans created projects, a 50 Shades tribute, a rescreening of the entire series and Part 4, We Will Cry Together. Hashtags #50 goodbye, #thank you Anna Christian spread. Fan art, video compilations, and emotional posts covered the internet. A blogger famous in America wrote, "I grew up with Anna and Christian. They taught me about love, about many mistakes, about the power of change. If Part 4 is the last, it must be beautiful, just as I expected." Film critics expect, Part 4 will not just be a romance, it will be a work that ends a chapter, such as in the end, they will not leave each other, but move to a new form. Many people believe that the finale will become a symbol of how to end a love film. No wedding scene, no marriage, just eyes and harmony. Some opposing perspectives. Is it too early to stop? Raw material does not want to continue watching? Will Hollywood spin off or reboot with a new forum? But most admit, the decision to stop while there is still emotion is artistic courage. Dakota and Jamie later posted a thank you on social media. Dakota Johnson, thank you all for being there for Anna, for all the pictures, the joy, the tears. The fourth, and final, season is our final gift to the character and to you. Please remember her as a person who was strong, in bits and pieces, and experienced. Jamie Dornan, Christian Grey, he may be controversial, he may be emotional. But for me, he was the factor that took me into the psychological depths, to understand people better. Thank you for loving him. Thank you for loving us. This will be the last time we're together on screen for this question, but the love, the commitment, never ends. The words spread across fan sites, shared, attached to pictures from the press conference, from the balcony scene. A few weeks later, the producers released the final poster, Anna and Christian standing back to back, looking out at the night sky, the moonlight shimmering. The text reads, 50 Shades of Grey, the final chapter. Every good story has an ending. Quote.